Guys, we cooked last night. We hit all of our 5 bets, including triple-double on Nikola Jokic for plus 180. Great night behind us. Third straight profitable day on the show. All 5 wins were super easy. Tari Eason, 30 plus points and rebounds. Count Knupel, 23 points covered early into the second half. Nikola Jokic, easy triple-double. And Drew Holiday, 23 points, another easy cash early into the second half. Amazing day. Yesterday when I said I'll do a live show today, I completely forgot it's a Super Bowl Sunday. Only 4 early games in the NBA, so doesn't make much sense to do a live show today with this weaker slate. So we're gonna move this live stream for the next week, probably Tuesday, but I'll definitely let you know. I'm targeting bigger slate, so we have plenty to work with. We have 4 game slate tonight, and I'll break every single one of them. First one is Knicks against the Celtics. Rough spot for the overs as both teams are playing very slow pace. As we can see, Knicks are playing at the 24th slowest pace, and looking on the other side, we can see that Boston Celtics are the slowest pace team. So kind of slower pace, less possessions, less chances for covering their lines. So that's really important for this one. Looking at some players, like we can see 1 game sample for Nikola Vucevic for the Boston Celtics against the Miami Heat. He had the 11 points, came off the bench, played big 28 minutes. So if he's going to come off the bench and play those big minutes, could be definitely some spots for Nikola Vucevic overs, but Knicks are not one of them. They have a good defense against the fives and don't allow any points in the paint. And we can see that Vucevic scores 60% of his points from the paint, and he's now facing 4th best paint defense, slow paced teams that allow only 6th least points to opposing centers. So that could be a rough matchup. So I kind of hope he stays under here, and then next game, and when we get a better matchup, we can attack Nikola Vucevic's lines. One thing is last game Neemias Queta only played 22 minutes even though he started. So when he was playing, like, I would say maybe 18 to 26 minutes on the season, we can see he's still covering this line like crazy. But I wouldn't bet his overs because it's a great pay defense. He scores 99% of his points from less than 10 feet away, and they're allowing 5th least there. He played them twice this season, scored 8 points in both games, being very efficient. But something to look out for is his rebounds. Well, 2 games against the Knicks, he had 6 and 7 rebounds. And if you take a look on the entire season, when he gets 18 to 26 minutes, we can see that he's more under than over, but he's averaging 8 rebounds a game. So when we look, when he's facing teams who are challenging, like allowing below average rebounds to opposing bigs, we can see that he stayed under in 8 out of 11 games, including both games against the Knicks. So that could be my lean, but I don't like betting rebounds, especially if it's not if it's like teenage. Even though he stayed under in 8 out of 11, he's still averaging 8 rebounds a game. So yeah, that's just a lean because slow pace, less rebounding chances works as well for this one. Vucevic getting big minutes. I won't be surprised if they start Vucevic in the next game, but yeah, either way they go, Vucevic is playing more minutes than Neemias Queta. So yeah. Moving on the side of the Knicks, Karl Anthony Towns is questionable for this game, but earlier this season he covered in both games against the Boston Celtics. And first game, no Mitchell Robinson, so he played 33 minutes. Next game, no OG Anunoby, no Landry Shamet. So yeah, both games had some crucial guys being out, but great numbers against the Boston Celtics. And if you take a look on the entire season when he gets expected minutes, which I would say is probably 28 to 34. On the season, he's averaging 20 points a game. Now we have 18.5 line, and bunch of guys are questionable. We need to check the games when Branson is because he is the key here. And in those games, he covered this in 65% of the games, 20 points average. But we can see he scores 66% of his points less than 10 feet away, and Boston Celtics are great defense there. On the other side, they allow a ton of threes and a ton of catch and shoot, which is then good. So it's kind of polarized matchup. Some stuff are great, some stuff are not great. I think the fair line is 19.5. So I do lean over for Carl Anthony Towns, but definitely not enough to make this an official bet against the slowest paced team in the league, against good defense, and against great rim defense. So let's move on to the next game. It's Heat against the Wizards. And again, I don't know what's happening with the Wizards, but last game they were ton of guys out, even though they were not even questionable before. I'll go back to the NBA rotations and check the Wizards stuff. What happened in that game against the Nets? We can see guys like Will Riley, Jameer Watkins played the entire second half, and guys like Justin Champagne and Bob Carrington, who are actually part of the starting rotation, were benched just 5 minutes into the second half. So, very weird one. Honestly, I don't know what's going to happen. We can see that Bob Carrington last couple of games never touched the court in the fourth quarter, like 5 straight games where he didn't touch the court in fourth, even though some were wins. So I don't know. That's probably intentional. That's probably the thing that's going to happen moving forward, that he gets benched into the fourth. So yeah, looking back to the slate, we can see that there are lines for him. 13.5, even though he played only 22 minutes in the last 2 games and played less than 25 in 4 straight games. If you take a look when he gets up to 26 minutes, so let's say 18 to 26 this season, he's averaging 8.7 points. So definitely leaning under 13.5, but it's not wildly available. The matchup is also not great for him. Looking at Keishan George, last 3 games, 19 minutes in a win, 26 minutes in a blowout loss, and 18 minutes in a win. So got benched once again. So let's look to Keishan George against the Pistons. What happened there? Keishan George also, all the starters beside Bilal Koulibaly got benched into the second half, and Keishan George was one of them. He played 4 minutes in the second half in a game that they won, which is absolutely insane. So if you take a look for him, when he gets between, I would say 18, as we can see last game, he played 18 and 19, 18 to 26 minutes. He's under this line in 6 out of 10, averaging only 10 points a game. So maybe even points and rebounds and assists. 18.1, line is at 22.5, 23.5. Pretty widely available actually. And he's averaging 18 in those minutes. So yeah, I don't know. Like he could end up playing the entire game, but the data is showing us that he was benched in a couple of straight games. So tough to predict, honestly. Probably another way is to just bet the under and hope for the best. But if he plays like 30 plus minutes, then this line is too low. If he gets benched again, then this line is definitely too high. 11 points spread. This could actually be a blowout. Miami could blow them out as they are back. On the Miami side, everyone is a great matchup. Like every single player on Miami is in a great matchup. But as I said, 11-point spread. If they bench these poor players and play even worse players, this could be a blowout. So we could see no one from the Miami side either to take the fourth quarter minutes. So kind of can't bet anything on this one. So let's now move to the next one. Pacers against the Raptors. And I'll have one official bet for this one. And we are going to RJ Barrett over 17.5 points. Pretty much widely available, minus 110 to minus 112. Actually, it is actually insane that every single book has minus 110 to minus 112. Looking at the minutes, he's kind of expected to play 28 to 30. So when we look at the games when he played 26 to 34 minutes this season, we can see that he's averaging 19.1 points. But we have Emmanuel Quickly questionable, so that could definitely help with his usage. And if we take a look at the defense against position, we can see that he kind of stayed under in some tough matchups. So if we exclude top, I would say 10 teams in defense against position, we can see that he now covered this line in 10 out of 14 games, averaging 20 points a game. And maybe we can go even further. We can see that he scores most of his points in transition. So let's exclude teams that play at a slow pace, like just bottom like bottom 3 to 4 teams at slowest pace. So we excluded an additional game, and now he's averaging almost 21 points a game, covering in 10 out of 13 games. Some others felt very close, like a game against the Orlando Magic. He scored 16 points, missed all 5 threes. Against the Hawks, he hooked the line, shooting 1 from 5 from the free throw line. So I would say he was supposed to cover in those games as well. All other games he's covered by 20 or more points. So I would say I expect him to score 21 points per this matchup type. We need to include the games with Ingram in. Ingram played in every single game. With Barnes in, Barnes played in every single one of these games. So this looks great as well. And the best thing for this game and for this bet, look at this. He scored 61% of his points inside the 10 feet, and the Pacers allow fifth most from that area. Zubac is still not playing there, so they don't have anyone to protect the rim well. So RJ Barrett should thrive on the drives. They also allow third most free throws, as you can see, and they allow a ton of pick and roll ball handlers, and they are average against transition. So this is a really good matchup for AJ Barrett. And now let's take head-to-head games. Looking at this season, they played only once, and that game RJ Barrett scored 22 points, even though entire team was healthy. He only played 28 minutes in a blowout, so he did really well against the Pacers, and he was doing really well against the Pacers over the last 3 years as well. If you take a look over the last 3 seasons, he's averaging 20 points. This season, he's averaging 18.6 points, but a ton of games where the games where he was on minutes restriction, if you exclude games when he was on minutes restriction, he's averaging 20 points a game, which was the thing over the last couple of seasons. As we can see, over the last 3 seasons, he's averaging 20 points a game. But when we looked head-to-head games, he played with Pacers 7 times, covered in 6 out of 7. He actually scored 22 or more points in 6 out of 7 games, averaging big 25 points a game against the Pacers. And the thing with Pacers is they have the same coach, and they are going to play the same kind of defense this year, last year, and the year before. They are allowing ton of points from the paint. They don't help on the shooters, and they allow ton of isolation points and free throws. So that's how RJ Barrett drives us. He's one of the better drivers in the league, driving to the rim and getting to the free throw line. We can also see that they allow fourth most to his position, and they're playing at ninth highest pace in the league. If you take a look at the last 15 games, they allow even more points in the paint. They allow fourth most points in the paint and third most points under 10 feet. And over the last 15 games, they play seventh highest pace, which is also great for this bet. So our official bet today, RJ Barrett over 17.5 points. And guys, I just want to say thank you for all the support in the comments on the last video and the likes. We broke the record for comments and we broke the record for the likes. Thank you. We had a 5-0 day, so let's smash that like button once again so we have another winning day on the show. And also, yeah, I understand that lines move quick, so sometimes you just go into the video and just want to get them before they move. But please, you can open the video, you can go to the bets first, but then return to the start of the video and watch it from the start to the end. That means a lot. If you can't watch it, at least leave it in the background so it at least gets through the entire video, so I don't have the issues with algorithm. And thank you once again. And let's now move to the last game on the slate, which is Clippers against the Wolves. This one is very interesting because we could see Ayo Dosunmu playing for the Wolves tonight, and on the other side, Clippers kind of short-handed, I would say, now after the trades. They traded away Zubac and Harden, and the guys they got in the return, Maturin and Garland, are out. So yeah, this could be an ugly one. We can see that Clippers are playing also away. So the spread in this one is at 8.5. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is a blowout. If they find a way to shut down Kawhi Leonard, I don't see how the Clippers score. They don't have anyone. Like, are they going to trust like Brook Lopez to score big? John Collins, the guy that can dribble, that can just shoot wide open threes and dunk. There's no Harden anymore to create for them. So yeah, it's a weird spot. And honestly, I could see a blowout in this one. And also, I don't know how they're going to defend Anthony Edwards. We can see that they already played earlier this season, and in that game, Edwards played big 37 minutes and got up only 11 field goals attempts, scored 15 points. So kind of expect them heavily and very aggressive against Anthony Edwards. Again, we can see that last game he scored 35, 30, 39, 33. So great form. So won't be able to bet this on under because, as I said, when he decided to score big, no amount of double teams can stop him. We can see the similar player Luka Doncic covered in both games against the Clippers this season, so rough one. And I don't know how the Sumo will affect this team. Is he going to take the most minutes from Dante DiVincenzo? I don't know. They need kind of shooters out there, and Dante DiVincenzo is their best shooter. But I could see some big minutes for Ayo Sunmu. I don't know if he's going to handle the ball. This line for assist is actually pretty low, but heavily juiced. So yeah, first need to see minutes for Aido Sunmu so I can make some assumptions. But maybe Nas Reed over 13.5 points. We can see last game he got 19 points in 28 minutes. But he shot very efficiently that game. If he made two less threes, was 3 from 8, which is still efficient. He will stay under this line. So yeah, kind of rough spot. I don't know about Julius Randle. Last time they played, he scored 24 points, had great usage in that game. We can see 34% usage, 8% higher than his season average. And for Anthony Edwards, we can see that he had 27% usage, which is 4% lower than his season average. And he had 10 field goal less than season average. So kind of weird game. Unpredictable defensive schemes, so I will stay away from it. And that's it, guys. We come to the end of the video of this kind of smaller slate. We have one official bet, so see ya tomorrow.